Hi guys, welcome back to the Far Side of Normal podcast. My name is Stacey Farr, your creator and host. This is going to be a short podcast, but it's a topic I think all of us could use, or I'm speaking for myself, I could definitely use right now. And the topic is hope. I'm coming to you guys on Easter Sunday, and last week was Holy Week, and I reflected a lot during the week. Full disclosure, as always on my podcast, I have been job hunting since last November, and bleak is an understatement. But I want to tell you a couple of things that gave me hope and why, even when your situation doesn't change or your circumstances don't improve, hope is all that you need in times of trial sometimes to push you on or spur you on or even give you the will to want to keep going or keep trying. Story time. Like I said, I had been applying for jobs in all disciplines, in any sector, in every field since last November in 2023. And this week, I had a recruiter reach out to me. She saw my resume online and we had a discussion. I didn't end up being a right fit for that project. That's a whole nother story. But the thing that gave me encouragement and hope is she was maybe the fourth person that I've spoken to out of all of these months of applying to too many jobs to name and even remember. The fact that I got to speak to a human, share with her what I was looking for or hoping to find in the job market, and that she sought me out because she saw my resume and my credentials was encouraging. It's seeing a flower in the middle of the desert. It's seeing water or an oasis in the middle of a desert. Sometimes all I need is a little bit of hope, a spark of light in a pitch black night. And that's what that conversation with her was. She loved my resume. She saw it on LinkedIn, God save LinkedIn, and she wanted to discuss the role. And even though I didn't fit that project, she interviewed me kind of to know what I was looking for, what I was searching for. And she even asked if she could keep my resume. They get projects, I guess, on a daily basis because it's a headhunting firm. And could she reach out to me if something came across her desk that she thought I would be a good fit for? The other thing that gave me hope and encouragement is my personality and character. She appreciated that and my honesty and transparency. Sometimes when you do the right thing, even when no one is looking, it's hard to remember that this is the best route. I think about cross-heading into Easter Sunday, which is today. On paper and looking at it, that wasn't the smartest thing or the widest thing or what are you doing being literally led to your death. But there's a bigger picture. And there's more to the story, as that old saying goes. And thinking about that, you just need to be reminded sometimes you're doing great. You're trying. We appreciate the fact that you're hanging in there, that you're not trying to cut corners. You're not trying to do anything unethical or shady or, you could be, but you're maintaining your integrity in a world that seems to value it less and less every day. Hope. It's encouraging. Another thing, a while ago, and I can't really speak on it yet, but a while ago I applied to this thing and I forgot about it, honestly. Well, this week, I went to bed one night last week and thought, I just need a win. I just need a win. Wake up, go about my regularly scheduled program, and I checked my emails. I'm in the second round of this thing that I applied for. That's huge. again, I don't know what's going to happen, but this is me in a year of shooting my shot. That I'm in the second round is encouraging. I don't know what's going to play out, and I will speak on it down the road when either the thing happens or it falls through. Either way, I'll talk about it again, and I won't be as vague. Now I know why it's so hard for actors when they're in a project to skirt questions and you want to answer them, not give too much away, but not make it too vague. This is an art, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Anyways, receiving that email was the boost I needed to keep going. My circumstance hasn't changed. I still don't have a job. My situation has improved. Not. I still don't have money or income. I still don't know how I'm going to pay my behind bills. I still have no idea when or if Kia is going to do right by my car and fix it. I don't know how long it's going to be running. What I'm saying is my circumstances haven't changed. My situation hasn't improved. And by all accounts, I don't know when or if it will. But just that email was the hope I needed to keep going, to keep applying for jobs, to keep doing the right thing, to keep encouraging people, to keep showing up, to keep getting out of bed, honestly, in the morning on some days, to keep moving forward, and to keep shooting my shot. I think sometimes for me, I hope, I pray, and I expect things to change overnight. You go from the hood to the good. But reading and even looking at the Holy Week, sometimes it's a process. Sometimes it doesn't look like what I had hoped or I wanted or I thought it would be or should be or could be. But it's still hope. And so on this podcast today, I want to encourage you, think about in the last week or maybe even coming up, what do you need to keep hoping? What does that look like for you? And also remember that sometimes things can literally change overnight. I think about Christy Metz from This Is Us and her story. One day she had $3.23 in her account, and she was going to go back to being a kindergartner teacher in her small town because she was going to wrap it up after This Is Us audition. If it didn't fall through, then she was done. And then the next day, bam. And because of that, she's a household name. Things can happen overnight. One night you go to bed, a poor young man. The next day you're a billionaire or a millionaire because you won a lottery and are able to stay in your family farm, kind of save the town. And it can happen that quickly. In my humble opinion and in my experience, 9 out of 10 though, it's a process. It's gradual. You gradually are starting to pay off debt and getting traction to getting your credit score up. You are gradually eating better or moving more and thinking about health, and so your weight goes down. You consistently show up for work in that job that you may not love, that is not what you had hoped for, but it leads to a better position. All I'm saying is keep hope alive. Whether it's an overnight hope that comes to fruition or it's a gradual that takes a little bit more time than maybe you had expected or wanted or hoped for, don't lose hope. That little bitty spark has carried me this week. Reading the scriptures about Holy Week has carried me this week. Friday, even though we call it good, was the worst Friday if you were a Christian back in those days, because all your hopes, all that you've read about and heard about and been told about this Savior that's going to come rescue you from this oppression from a foreign entity, literally died that day. But for us Christians that know the rest of the story, that's not the end of the story. I don't know what your situation is. Maybe it's challenging like mine. Maybe you are struggling with employment or loss of employment. Maybe you are struggling with the end of a relationship or longing for one and you can't seem to have one and you're the only one in your friend group. Maybe you want more than life to have a child and it has not been the case, but everyone around you is getting what you so desperately long for and hope for and dream of. I don't know what your situation is, but I know that Good Friday, though it was good, was very bad. Saturday was even darker because it was quiet. But today is Easter Sunday. And we know as Christians the rest of the story. This is the day that he came back. He rose. He's no longer in the grave. That's a celebration and a big hope that we get to have that same experience when we die or when he comes back, whichever one. I don't know your religious affiliation. It's not even about that. It's about keeping hope alive when it seems that all is lost. Because usually that's when you don't put a period in a story, you put a comma. Or those 3 ... dots to be continued. Your story is still being written. It is to be continued. But what I'm always reminding myself of is I must be present to win. Again, I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what your struggles are. I don't know what your challenges are. But this is what I'm going to be praying for every person that hears this podcast or sees it. That God will give you hope in whatever shape or form you need to keep going. That little spark that can ignite a flame, that can spur you on to the great things that you long to accomplish or achieve, or even the little things that give you joy and delight. May you this week, every day, have hope that 1, doesn't disappoint, 2, is enough to keep you going, and 3, helps you dream again. From that conversation with that headhunter and the email that I received from that project that I can't wait to tell you about, you guys, I've started dreaming again. I went to bed dreaming. I woke up with a smile on my face. And that has honestly been rare because the struggle has been real. But this week, I'm going to pray, not just for you guys, but for me, that we will all get the hope that we need, that will keep us moving forward, but also help us start dreaming again. Start anticipating again. Start desiring again. Because if you're like me, when things have gotten so hard and been that challenging for so long, you lose hope. You don't dream. You don't anticipate. You don't long for anything because you don't want to be disappointed. Maybe start dreaming again. And hoping and anticipating. And even taking baby steps towards those dreams. I've started writing again. I've started envisioning scenes and characters and dialogue. And it's been flatlined for a while, truth be told. Hope. It's a small word with 4 letters that has the biggest impact. May you have hope this week and every day and for the rest of your life. Thank you for tuning in to the Far Side of Normal podcast. Sorry, allergies are brutal. Until next time, goodbye.